we saw Jack 3 months ago to go to IRONMAN 70.3 in Nice, yes? Making it in a time of 7 hours, and 3 months later goes to sub-5.
Yeah. What happened there?
How that happened? What happens?
Different person. So many things I learned from Nice that I did wrong, basically. So I think I turned up to Nice very, very unprepared. I didn't have a proper coach. I think the furthest I did on a bike before Nice was 20 miles. For people that don't know, on a 70.3, it's 56 miles on the bike. So I was doing double the biggest ride I've ever done. My nutrition was bad, my training was bad. Everything was essentially bad going into Nice, which made the race so much harder. A few people have asked me, do you think you could have done better in Nice as an athlete? Definitely, yeah. I think I could have probably got a much better time if I'd had a good coach, had a better preparation, knew more about nutrition. That's kind of why I'm putting these videos out now that I'm doing on my page, which obviously I'm sure we'll go into, but to try and help other people that are going into it for the first time not make the same mistakes I did.
So Jack, first of all, thank you very much for accepting my invitation to this another new episode of SUB10TALK. It's my pleasure to have you here, and as we said before starting this, we have two major things we would like to discuss. First of all, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Very good. How are you?
Good. I'm fine, man. I'm good myself. Thank you very much.
Good.
And the interesting thing about you is that you're quite new, quite fresh into triathlon.
Yes,
Since when did you start into triathlon?
I started training triathlon probably at the start of the year, so I think into March time maybe. I entered my first triathlon and did my first triathlon in June.
This year?
Yeah, June this year. So I think, like 6 or 7 months I've been doing triathlon now.
And how come it popped up in your life?
Yeah, so from being young, I've always, been into sport. It's like from cross-country running to football to tennis. I've basically always been active and always been doing something.
I imagine that you did some kind of sport before, because
I've always had that kind of lifestyle. And then I think from college to about 19, so 17 to 19, I kind of didn't have as much of a focus on sport. I kind of went to the other things, like the less productive hobbies, like drinking, going out, the kind of stuff that most people go through that phase. And then I got to a point where I like having a goal, or like having something to work towards, or something to aim for. And I was thinking to myself, what's one of the hard things you can do? I looked at ultra marathons, explored all options, like High Rocks. I don't know if you've heard what that is, but that's like a kind of CrossFit thing. And then Ironman obviously was there, so I decided to just sign up for my first half Ironman, and then it all went from there.
Is it challenging for you more than what you did before? Is it kind of the same? How do you find triathlon compared to the other sports?
Yeah, it's more time consuming. I think I'm training now from around 9 to 15 hours a week, which obviously it takes up a lot of time compared to like football, where you just do 1 or 2 training sessions a week and then you play the game. So yeah, it takes up a lot of my time, but I think it's more rewarding. It's probably one of the most rewarding sports I've done so far, just because you put all that training up into the race day, put hours and hours in, and you see the progress, and then race day comes, and then you're rewarded with the race, whether it goes well, like it did in Paris, or whether it goes bad, like it did in Nice. Even when things don't go to plan, it's still really enjoying and rewarding, and you learn a lot about yourself, I think.
Exactly, yes, exactly that. First of all, it's important to know that if you do triathlon, you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, something goes wrong. So you enjoy the process, you enjoy the training, and especially you enjoy the race, which the fulfillment comes when you pass the finish line. I think this is where that you get rewarded, as you said before.
Yeah, 100%. And like you say, if you're not enjoying the training when you're doing something like as demanding and as time consuming as triathlon, you're not going to be able to keep it up and sustain it, really, which is where I think the biggest progress is made. By enjoying it, then you can do it year after year, which is what obviously I'm hoping to do. I'm still very new to it, but like you say, if you enjoy something, everything just works better. It's less effort, the rewards are better, you perform better. So yeah, it's just try to enjoy it all.
I think one more important thing is that you are at a young age. You are 22, 23?
23 now, yeah.
23, very, very young for this. So you have plenty of years to enjoy it and plenty of progress in front of you. And you already have made a humongous project, process, the last two races.
Well. And I think that triathlon for obviously some sports, like say football, I think you reach your peak around like 26, 27, but then triathlon, it seems there's like, obviously being at the races, there's 75 to 80-year-olds still finishing the races and still doing really well and still beating me. So we've got lots of improvement as well.
How come you're in Cyprus now? You want to share a bit your story with us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I, sorry if you can hear the planes in the background. I joined the military when I was 18. I'm in the RAF, so the Royal Air Force. If you don't know, there's the Army, Royal Air Force, and then the Navy. And when I was 19, after being a year in the military, I moved out to Cyprus. So that's where I'm based now, in Cyprus. It's great for training, great for all-around life. I'm really enjoying it. So I've been out here 3.5 years now.
3.5 years? It's plenty of time.
Yeah. And I've got possibly another 4 years left if I want it. But I love Cyprus. Like, I think.
Is it a contract, the work you're doing? Is it like a contract or is it something?
Yeah. You sign up for 12 years initially, and then after 3 years, which is like return of service, you then get the option whether you want to leave with a year's notice. But it's pretty flexible. You can leave whenever you want, really.
All right, cool. And how do you combine work with training? Is it something that it's challenging, or is it quite easy for you?
It depends. Obviously, work picks up and slows down throughout the year. So sometimes you work in very long hours, like 12 to 13 hours every day. And that can be a big challenge. And that's where the balance of work life and social life I choose to kind of throw that out of the window. If I'm working a lot,
exactly,
priorities are just towards training, because I know long term it will be more beneficial to do that rather than, going out drinking, things like that. So I just prioritize training. And it can be hard sometimes, to be fair. This year it was quite hard. I'd have to wake up at like 4 o'clock some days and get a run in the morning, then go to work, and then it's dark after work, and then get the next workout in. But in the long term, it's definitely beneficial to do that, I think.
Does the place there and the facility there in Akrotiri helps towards your training, or is it?
100%, yeah. I think I am lucky to be out here as well. Like I say, the weather we get out here, I'd say 10 months of the year, it's pretty good, isn't it? And then you get a few months of rain and a bit of cold, but that's good for being out on the bike. So I'm flexible. I can just go out on the bike whenever I want, really. We've got a swimming pool on camp, so I can get down to the swimming pool in like 5 minutes. We've got the sea, which is 5 minutes away, so I can do open water swims. We've got the gym. So I've got everything I need to really push and really train in triathlon. Try and take it to that next level, which is what I want to do. So
great. I think you are in a good spot right now, because what I was going to say now is that we saw Jack 3 months ago to go to IRONMAN 70.3 in Nice, yes, making it in a time of 7 hours, and 3 months later it goes to sub 5.
Yeah, what happened there?
How that happened? What happens?
Different person. No, so many things I learned from Nice that I did wrong, basically. So I think I turned up to Nice very, very unprepared. I didn't have a proper coach. I think the furthest I did on a bike before Nice was 20 miles. For people that don't know, on a 70.3, it's 56 miles on the bike. So I was doing double the biggest ride I've ever done. And Nice was up a mountain for half of the ride. So it was
a hilly route.
Yeah, very hilly, which, again, me not knowing much about triathlon or racing, I didn't really think of that. So my nutrition was bad, my training was bad. Everything was essentially bad going into Nice, which made the race so much harder. But like I said, I still really did enjoy that race. I did a holiday as well, so I got to travel around, see the south of France, which was amazing. The race.
Let me ask you something, Jack. Do you consider yourself during that time as an athlete to be a fast athlete which couldn't manage himself correctly, or did you see improvement in the 3 sports throughout the 3 months?
As in throughout after Nice?
Yes, but during Nice, at Nice, you were considered to be a good athlete, but you didn't manage your race well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Like you say, a few people have asked me, do you think you could have done better in Nice as an athlete? And definitely, yeah. I think I could have probably got a much better time if I'd had a good coach, had a better preparation, knew more about nutrition. That's kind of why I'm putting these videos out now that I'm doing on my page, which obviously I'm sure we'll go into, but to try and help other people that are going into it for the first time not make the same mistakes I did.
That's why your followership is growing so much. And this is something that I wanted to ask you, but I want you to finish about this difference between the 7 hours and 3 months later, sub 5 hours. So it's quite impressive. How do you think it is better preparation? What is it behind this success?
Yeah, so then after Nice, I looked at my next 70 point for I could do, even though it was a hard race. I really enjoyed it. And I saw Perec in Croatia, which was, for starters, the course was a lot flatter. I think it was 700 meters of elevation on the bike and 150. So like kind of half of what Nice was. So I knew already I should be getting a quicker time because of the course. And then I got a proper coach. So I think I had 3 months of proper triathlon training where I was doing swim, bike and run training, not just strength training like I did for Nice. And that really helped. Obviously, training is pretty complex for triathlon, I think, which can be scary for beginners and new people. But having a proper training plan and a coach and accountability really helped me. So yeah, going into the race, I was just so much more prepared. I understood my nutrition that I needed a lot more going into Perec. And the preparation was just a lot better. And then in the videos coming up to Perec, I did say my cousin was there with me as well. He was doing his first one. He trained properly as well. Mm-hmm. So we kind of like both speaking back and forth quite a lot of the time and giving each other tips that helped each other and things like that. And then I was hoping for under 6 hours at Perec. And like you say, I managed to somehow get 4 hours 59. So I was very, very happy.
And it's amazing. Very well done. It's an exceptional time for a 70.3. Sub 5 is an exceptional time that most of the people chase, most of the athletes chase to have. And following the questions is, you are becoming a great content creator. You create amazing content, which is very, very useful and very, very fun and very, very interesting for someone to watch. How did you come up with this kind of content? Is that something you had before, or did you thought of it? Did you think of it after you started triathlon?
Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that a lot. But so actually, back in school, so I'd say about 10 years ago, I used to post YouTube videos before it was kind of a thing. Before it was accepted and normal. So I used to actually just play football with my friends and play FIFA and things like that. So for like 3 years, I was kind of obsessed with it, just always editing, always trying to understand what worked well, things like that. And I think I got to around like 4,000 followers, which back in like 2012 or 13 was actually quite a lot.
It's been 10 years already.
Yeah. So it was a decent amount at that time. And then, like I said, I've been training triathlon. I didn't start the page until after Nice. So my friend came along with me to Nice, Lewis, and he was filming the race and things like that. And we were just speaking in the car, and he was like, I was like, we're doing such cool things here. Why not share it? And like, why not help other people? I don't feel like there's anyone else in the space doing this, posting triathlon content from a beginner's perspective. So he filmed Nice, and then I made a few little videos, but I was kind of in my head, I was thinking like, I was worrying too much about other people and thinking, what if they think this is stupid or things like that, silly things, which a lot of people do. I overthink. I'm normal. And then I just started posting the videos. Like you say, they got good response, good feedback. And it's gone really well from there. But I think the main thing about, especially my audience and age group and things like that now, with like TikTok and short form content kind of being the thing that most people go for now, I try and cater towards mine as well, the shorter attention spans. So I feel like you've got to kind of like make them punchy, make them loads of different things going on, but also make it informative so it's not too fast. So it's a lot of experimenting. And I think you'll know yourself, but some people think like, I'll just film the video and then like 20 minutes later it's ready and it's to go. But it honestly takes hours sometimes, but I do enjoy it. So it's not too bad for me.
The interesting thing when creating content is that most of the times we think that during creating the content, we have to speak about ourselves. The interesting thing about you is that you talk about yourself, but you give your mistakes or your success to us to be aware on the next time that we're going to have our next triathlon, next Ironman or whatever. So we are using your experiences and the things that were good or wrong with you, and it's kind of lessons to us. That's why I find it very interesting. Apart from that, if you see the editing behind it, I can understand that you take multiple of hours in order to create a 1 minute video. The editing is amazing. So very well done for that.
Thank you.
What is the next target for Jack? What's your next plan? Have you booked any race in the future?
Yeah, so after, like I say, I've been doing the Ironman races, and I think the best thing, like you say, with obviously Ventus being all about a community and people being able to come together with the shared interests, and I think it really helps being able to train with people, especially for Ironman, the amount of hours you put into it. So I've actually got 2 of my friends now that I've dragged in to do a race. So we're going to do Venice 70.3 in May. In Italy, so we're all going to travel over there. They're going to be doing their first one, 2 of them. My cousin's coming over again, and then I'm going to obviously go for a good time again. Hopefully, beat my PB, but it's a hard PB to beat now. But I'm going to be. It's
hard to beat, but you have all the potentials to do it.
Yeah. I've got a lot of time, and I think if I train well and everything goes well, it will happen. But then so we got Venice, and then I've got a full Ironman because obviously. The ones I've done so far have only been half Ironmans, like 70.3s. So I signed up to a full Ironman, which is in Germany, in Bavaria, which is Challenge Roth. It's sold out in 45 seconds. So it seems to be a very popular event and race, but I'm excited for that as well.
All right, cool. Is it time for a new bike?
Yes, it is time for a new bike.
It's in the plan?
Yeah, I'm looking actively now for a new bike. I know there's some places in Cyprus that sell like brand new bikes that they can order in, and I can get tax-free because I'm in the military. So it's tempting, but I'm thinking, do I spend the same amount as my car's worth on a bike?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's big decisions. So I'm trying to weigh up the options and really decide what I want to do. But I'm thinking maybe buy a second-hand one that's good in the UK. So that'll hopefully give me some extra time gains as well.
I think you have multiple options to buy, especially from the UK. I know people from Cyprus that they bring bikes from UK because it's worth it.
Yeah, there's more like options and choice, isn't there? Yeah.
Excellent. So to close the discussion, what's the best advice that comes to your mind now for a triathlon which is now starting the triathlon, or some people they're thinking to start triathlon? What's the best advice that helped you as Jack?
Yeah, good question. I would say be open to the training and be ready to learn a lot and fail a lot of times in triathlon, because that is literally the best way to learn, especially when you're doing long course events and any triathlon really. Don't get downhearted if you're not good at, say, running or cycling or swimming. For me, that was a massive thing. Swimming's hard, and I'm slowly progressing, but I still find it hard now. But I think compounding as well. If you keep going day after day over the months, you might not see much, but then as it gets to the year point, things like that, you will see progress. So basically just keep being persistent, keep the consistency, and like you say at the start, try and enjoy it, try and make it fun, because that's what we all do it for, really.
Exactly. Consistency, patience, and have fun.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent. So Jack, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure to talk to you again and share some information with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.